All right, maybe just a little drink to kind of get things going, get a little spicy before I start the recording. Well, hey there, everybody. It's Chris from the Rate the Record podcast, and guess what time it is? It's time for the NMR. That's exactly right. New music has come out, as always, and I'm here to talk about it. 4 tracks this week. I checked them out. I got things to say. I want you to hear them. I want to hear what you have to say about them. So, hey, let's just jump into it. Might I just say that you're looking well today, too? Even if you're not doing so well today, you still look well today. You can still be well no matter what, damn it. And I feel that way. I feel strongly. I'm just having a good day, I guess. So first up on the list this week, we have Idols. Yes, Idols is back for like the 3rd time in a few months on the NMR. They just keep releasing a brand new teaser, one after the other, and I guess that would be it because it's the 3rd one. This is the 3rd teaser coming from their upcoming album Tank, which is supposed to be dropping in February. I did say I'd check out more new music by them if it came out, and guess what? It came out. This one is called Gift Horse. I will immediately start by saying, yes, this is the teaser I've been waiting for. This is the song I've been waiting for to come from this album, at least from what we've heard so far. Because, I mean, Dancer had this, like, really kind of fun, dancey high energy to it. Sorry for the redundancy, but that's the best way to describe it. And then the next single, Grace, with a more warmer, quieter, peaceful ballad type. But this one, like, really brings the intensity that I had been waiting for. Now, when it comes to style and composition, this one is relatively similar to Dancer. And I mean, if it's your first or second listen of a song, maybe you'll have a hard time differentiating the two. But that doesn't mean it's bad, though. At all. The verses are still fantastic. There's a great pacing overall to the verses and the entire track as a whole. Simplistic but fun. Still holds up really well to that dancey quality that the record was promised to have. And I can only imagine the songs are going to get bigger, brighter, and more fun from here. The chorus is where it all comes together, though, and as most songs do with a chorus. My God, is it explosive, though. It's loud, it's heavy, it's catchy, and it's just an exciting piece of music. Can you tell that I like this song? Because overall, this is definitely the best single to come off of this new album so far that we've heard. Because, I mean, who knows? Maybe one's better, maybe this is the best one. I don't know, we won't know until February, but there's a lot of energy here. It's super easy to get you pumped up if you couldn't tell that I already am, and I mean, I think you need to check this one out. You're gonna be missing out if you don't. So coming up next on the NMR list this week, we have MGMT. They're a synth rock / synth pop band out of Middletown, Connecticut. They are in their 22nd year of existence, which I did not know that because I know that their debut album dropped in 2007, so could have fooled me. But regardless, they do have a brand new studio album dropping this February called Loss of Life, and I'm taking a look at the first single off of it, or not the first single, but at least the most recent one, called Nothing to Declare. Now, admittedly, I hadn't really heard much
MGMT
since that album I just mentioned, the 2007 one, Oracular Spectacular, I think it was called. Yeah, that was the last time I had heard them, so I'm used to the more of their synth poppy hits. That's kind of what I was thinking I was in for, like the whole indie rock style of feel. But instead, we were kind of treated to more of this soft, folky feeling number. It's a very delicate track. It is a pleasant little track with these finger-picked guitars, some light keys and synths matched with these acoustic style drums. I mean, the instrumentals and vocals are really pretty all the way through, so that's a good thing that this song has going for it. I think the bigger issue for me, though, is that in the end, this song just isn't all that interesting. I think it's a bit of a sleeper, but not that I was expecting a song like this or in this style to suddenly pick up to this high energy or anything like that. I love a lot of delicate, softer, folky, sad kind of music and everything like that. But I don't know, this one just feels kind of like a run-of-the-mill folk pop kind of track. Overall, I'm kind of back and forth on it though, because on one hand, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely not unpleasant to listen to. Not certain I would pick this one to listen to again, but if it's on, I definitely won't complain. Maybe you'll feel more highly about it, so again, let me know. I'm always curious. So for my 3rd pick this week on the NMR, we have the Black Keys, and they are coming back with their 12th studio album called Ohio Players. It's set to be released this April, and they've dished out the first teaser to that new album called Beautiful People, and in parentheses, Stay High. Okay, I'm about to say something that I know other reviewers have already said about this song, and I don't mean to copy them, but this just rings to how true it is. This song feels like it was written for a commercial. I kid you not. This to me feels like it was a whiskey commercial or some sort of liquor. And it actually feels like I've already heard this song in a commercial before. Nothing I can trace back to, but it just goes to show you that if many people are saying it, it feels like a weird Mandela thing that we've already heard it. The track has a slightly funkier feel to it. It has a very playful bass line, a very four-on-the-floor style of drumming. It's got its sections of horns. It's still really fun though, so I can give it that. I noticed that the vocals play a bit of a back seat in this track. Like, they're not as forward, they're not as attention-grabbing or anything like that. They just kind of like fit into the background somewhere. And I would say that minus the chorus, but even then it wasn't all that attention-grabbing there either. So, I don't know. It felt like a weird step, but I mean, hey, if that works for them, it works for them, right? Well, at least for the production of this particular song. It's a pretty short track too. It's clocking in just around like 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So there's not only not enough to get involved with, but it just kind of helps fit more into that commercial territory. I'm sorry that I keep coming back to that. It's just, I can't believe how like television this song feels. With the track being super short, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. So overall, I'm not super into this track. Like, I get the appeal of it. It is a pretty catchy track, like with the melody at the very least. But this isn't something I would put on by myself. I wouldn't choose this particular track. This is like the kind of song I would hear in an ad while there's like stoppage and play during a hockey game or something along the lines of that. So I don't know, maybe you'll like it more, maybe you agree or disagree. I want to know, let me know. But wait, we got one more song to go. And finally today on the NMR, the fourth track that I have for you today is Khruangbin, a band that we were requested to check out back in season 4, so a card above my head probably pointed you towards that episode if you wanted to check it out. But they are a 3-piece instrumental band out of Houston, Texas. Kind of surf rock, kind of psych rock, somewhere in between that as well. Very chill style of music, but regardless, they do have a new album dropping this April called Ala Sala, and the first track we have today is A Love International. If I've learned anything about this band from having covered one of their albums on the podcast in the past, is that this is just like super chill, like sunset on a warm beach style of music. And nothing about that idea has changed from when we did that album to when I'm listening to this brand new song now. There are some great little drum grooves going on through this entire track. Dreamy guitars kind of just gently going on in the background. The bass really driving that groove home. I mean, like, it's a typical affair for these three, and that's not a bad thing at all. I'm also noticing these light hits of strings that are kind of breezy in the background as well, so that was also a really nice addition to have, you know, kind of drift me through the song a little bit. Now, aside from the one album that we've done on the podcast, I don't know too much more about Khruangbin, so I don't have much to go off of, but I can say, like, it doesn't really sound too different from what I've heard from them in the past. That doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing, as I've already kind of said. I don't think that there's many more directions that this band could take when dealing with this particular style. Like, it feels like suddenly being super experimental is not exactly in their nature, so I wouldn't expect some like big genre twist or anything on the horizon in this track, with this album, with this band, period. And again, not necessarily a bad thing. They found their groove, they know what they're good at, and it sounds damn good when they do it, so don't fix it if it ain't broke, you know? Overall, it is definitely a solid jam. I definitely enjoy this one, especially to kind of wrap up the NMR as well. Super easy on the ears, really kind of feel good all over. It's really, really hard to dislike a track or a style like this, so I would say give it a shot and just get ready to relax a little. Gonna race to the outro today because that's all I have, and I don't really have much else to say after this except thank you very much for checking this video out. And if you checked out any of these songs, all of them, even just one of them, let me know down in the comments below of what you think, because I'm always curious about your opinions. You hear mine, I want to hear yours. That's kind of how this whole thing works, so please do that. And you can also let us know on our social medias over at ratetherecord.ca. I mean, that's where you can find all of them. You can find the social medias individually too, but ratetherecord.ca is that home hub, you know. Streaming links, social media links, our Ko-fi.com. Like, I was gonna say RTR Club, but that's kind of closed right now, but you can still donate on Ko-fi if you do wish to do that. Album requests, merch, all that kind of fun stuff found at ratetherecord.ca, so make sure you're checking that out. And this is usually where I tell you, hey, if in case you missed it this past Monday, this is what we did. Well, I mean, nothing really happened this past Monday because the podcast is on hiatus, and I'm kind of in the process of playing out new content without Savannah while she's like on her little break. So yeah, nothing really happened this week, but last week again, the ILTS video for Dillinger Escape Plan came out. You can watch last week's NMR as well. You can binge 5 seasons of the podcast and a whole bunch of stuff. And hey, you know what? Just stick around anyways. Make sure you're subscribed because I do have some pretty interesting content planned coming up in the near future. And I'll even have a video probably next week getting more into detail about that, so stay tuned. So other than that, that's all I have to say. So once again, thank you very much for checking it out, hanging out with me. I'll see you again next week, because the NMR, once again, will be back next week. So until then, listen to some awesome music. I'll see you again real soon. Take care, friends.